What did you say to me? What's up, guys? TJ here with another video. If you like these types of videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Also hit that bell icon so you can get notifications whenever I release new videos. So over the past year, 12 months, I've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of comments on my station. I really appreciate everybody that takes the time to interact with me on this platform. And I normally try to get to each and every one of the comments that come in to my station. But I do realize that people ask these questions because they really have need to have an answer, right? So and I also think that there are other people that have the same questions, and so I just want to answer these questions on camera, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is I just went through my comment list and I chose some questions and I'm going to answer them right here on the camera. Why not? Alright, first question is by Plain Glitter. She said, what program for editing do you use to blur out your background? I've been trying to do this. Thank you. Alright, so I did answer your question already, but I made a video. I'm going to put it in the info card up here at the top, but there's two different ways that you can achieve like a blurred background. Right now I don't have a blurred background because I'm not sitting far enough away from the background that I have. But the first way you can do this is with your lens. So if you have a lens that has a wide aperture and you have a lot of light, you can't create that blurred background. I'll include some video footage, some B-roll footage right here of that what I'm talking about. But if you have, like, normally when I have a blurred background and it's through with my lens, it's because I'm using my 50mm lens. The only problem with the 50mm lens is that I have to have the camera about 10 foot away, and then to get the blurred background I gotta have about 10 foot behind me distance wise to actually get that blurred background. So I don't use my 50mm a lot for that. What I do use my 50mm for is for B-roll footage. So if you look at some of my B-roll footage, you'll notice it has a really shallow depth of field, which that's what that blurred background is called. It has that really cool bokeh or shallow depth of field behind it because I'm using that 50mm lens and I have a lot of light and it just has that blurred back. It focuses in on what I need to focus in and everything else is kind of blurred out. The other way that you can do this is with the green screen. So when I shoot with the green screen, what I do is I'll shoot with my green screen, and then when I get into Premiere Pro, I will key out. I'll use Ultra Key and I'll key out my background, and then I'll put a picture back here, and then I will use Gaussian blur, and then I'll blur out the background. It gives you kind of the same effect. The only reason that I don't do that now is because it takes so long to process those videos, that especially if they're like longer than 10 minutes, if I have a background and I have Gaussian blur and I'm like moving the camera around and different things, it just takes a long time to process videos. In fact, the last video that I made with the green background, the video I think was 17 minutes long and it took about 5.5 hours for it to process. So that's why I kind of got rid of that, and I'm just using a straight background. That's not to say I'm never going to have a background like that again. Just for right now, it's just easier for me to process those videos without that. I hope I answered your question. Alright, the next question is by Ninja Monkey 245, the gaming nerd. And he says eBay doesn't have the probation type thing for new sellers. PayPal does. And if you include tracking on your package, you receive your money 3 days after the buyer receives the package. This is partly true. So let's be honest, eBay and PayPal are the same company. I don't know if eBay owns PayPal or PayPal owns eBay, but they are the same company. And at this time, if you are a new eBay seller, you have to go through PayPal to process each and every one of your payments. So whatever policy that PayPal has is actually a policy of eBay's. And what eBay does is it will put your money in your PayPal account. So say for instance you just started out and you're selling stuff online and you sell something for $150, right? You're like, oh God, I just made a sale for $150. Okay, so you're going to send that to the customer. PayPal is not going to release that money to you until 21 days after that transaction goes through, unless you upload the tracking and then 3 days after they receive the product, then PayPal will release the money. So if it takes a day for you to process If it takes 3 days to ship it to the customer, then 3 days after that, now we're talking about, you know, 8 days. Heaven forbid it's a weekend, because now we're talking about 10 days before you actually get access to that money. So that's why I was trying to say that if you are a new seller, then you will have to wait a little bit in the beginning until they kind of trust you a little bit, and then they'll just automatically release your money. And this is really important for people that want to do drop shipping, because there will be that lag of time in between in terms of money. You know, right now I can drop ship stuff. I drop ship stuff all day long, and I just, whenever I get the payment for it, I just take my PayPal card, my PayPal debit card, I pay for the items, I have it shipped to the customer, and it's easy. But if you have a 8-day or 9-day turnaround in between, you are going to have to use your funds until you get those funds cleared. So just to clear that up. All right, next question. This right here is from Tony. You too close to the camera, B. Fine, I'll move back a little bit. All right, next question is from Jonathan Williams. He says, I don't live in the USA. Is it possible for me to ship directly from Alibaba to eBay and have them take care of it for me like Amazon? So I guess he's talking about, is there like a film about Amazon thing for eBay? I'm not aware that there's a program like this in terms like on large scale like how Amazon has it. So I would say no right off the bat. So what he's actually asking is if he can like buy 50 products and send them to eBay, and then have eBay send them out to different people, you know, whenever they buy it, you know, just kind of house it, warehouse it. And there may be a program like this. I don't know anything about it. So if you know anything about a program like that for eBay, put it in the comment section below, and I'll make sure it gets to Jonathan Williams and to let him know that you can do this. All right, the next question is from Legote James. He says, don't pay for this software. There are tons of great options. This is the worst. All right, so the good thing about Jonathan that I like is because when somebody asked, well, what do I need to use? He actually gave some options, and that gave me an insight on, you know, as to what other options there is out there, because that's all I've ever used to do this. And I use HydroLister and I use SKU Grid. That's what he was talking about. So what he did was he put some of those on there, and I actually made my first video kind of reviewing that first one. I put in the link up here in the cards. But if you are interested in drop shipping, there are a lot of options other than SKU Grid, because SKU Grid has progressively gotten worse over the last few months, and it's almost unusable at this point. So I would suggest you looking into other options, and I'm going to be going over those 3 that he gave in his answer in the next few days or so. The next question is from Majesty Brown. I have a hard time understanding YouTube revenue. Is it best to wait until the money hits your AdSense account to know how much you made? So here's the thing about YouTube and Google and AdSense and everything. AdSense shows you how much money you've made on a certain day, and YouTube shows you how much money you've made, you know, the accumulation of it, you know, every day. You know, I think they're 2 days behind, and then it shows you like how much money you made in the last 28 days or whatever. You can look at all those. Whatever they put in your estimated revenue is normally what will be put into your AdSense account. The only time that you can look in your AdSense account and see exactly how much money YouTube put into that account is around, for me, it's around about the 12th of the month. Around about, you know, 10th, 11th, 12th of the month, they'll put it onto your AdSense account, and they'll say YouTube revenue, and then it'll be an amount. That's how much money you're actually going to be getting. Now it can change from your estimated revenue on YouTube, but your estimated revenue on YouTube is probably going to be the most accurate before it actually goes into the AdSense account. So you'll need to look at your YouTube to tell how much money you've made in the last 7 days, the last 28 days, the last month, whatever you want to do. But on the 12th, that's when you need to look at your AdSense account and see exactly how much money is in your account, because that's how much money you're going to actually going to be receiving on the 21st if it does meet the $100 threshold, whatever your threshold is. Hope I answered that right. All right, the next comment is from the Go Gamecocks. Dude's voice, country as a chicken coop. I beg your pardon, I'm not country. What are you talking about? No, I am country. That's one of the things that I was most self-conscious about when I started my YouTube channel, is because I do have a bit of a speech impediment. since I had my braces, when I got my braces off, which was about 4 years ago, there's just certain words that I just can't say. And I find myself a lot of times trying to over pronunciate words because I feel like I can't say them. But I'm past that now. I don't really care. All right, next comment. This is from Lou Tello. Buy shit and die, hoople heads. I can't believe somebody would say that. That was on my Walmart, my Cyber Monday deal, talking about Walmart. I guess they don't like people that shop on Black Friday. All right, this question is from Exit Sign Collection. It says, hi, I use the photo fuse and sometimes it messes up the photos. It doesn't come up right and it suggestions what I can do. So photo fuse, I made this video over a year ago, about a year and a half ago, and photo fuse still works. I don't necessarily use it because I do have Adobe Photoshop and it's so easy to crop out things that I'm gonna make a video in next month or this month sometime showing some of the different ways to work with Photoshop and working with your images. Anyway, photo fuse is really good, a quick, easy, like free method to crop out your background and have a pure white background. I will put a link to that in the cards up here for that video if you do want to know about that. But what I would tell you is if you're having problems with photo fuse, I would tell you to try Adobe Photoshop. It does cost, but I think you can get it for about $9.99 a month or $7.99 a month if you just use that one app. But Photoshop is so phenomenal with taking out the background or your pictures. Is so quick and so easy that that's the only thing that I can suggest at this time because it's the best and it's the easiest to work with. And one thing about Amazon is they really emphasize having high quality photos with a pure background, pure white background. And they actually really cracking down. I got an email in January where they said that they were really going to be cracking down on the photos because that's one of the things that sells their products is the photos. You know, a lot of people are going to look at the thumbnail photo and, you know, then they look at the title. And so they want to make sure they have high resolution photos for their listings. So Adobe Photoshop, that's what I would use. All right, the last question is from Tiago Camera. Question, when doing RA, how do I ship, let's say, 60 vacuums since they're a big size product? I think he was talking about Fulfillment by Amazon, FBA. How do I ship them to the Amazon warehouse? Do I drop them off at UPS? Thank you. So what I told him was that he would have to get in touch with a freight service. FedEx has it, UPS has it, but it does cost quite a bit of money to move freight. Anything over like 100 pounds is going to be like put you in like a freight situation. Here's my suggestion. I wouldn't send anything to Amazon that was that large. I always look at things that are less than 10 pounds to send to Amazon. Normally I try to stay around 2 to 3 pounds. That way I can get as much as I can into a box and send it and cut down on my shipping cost. With that, now if you do have a hot selling problem like a vacuum cleaner, you can get an awesome deal on it. You know, I would go with a freight and you may pay $200 or $300 to get it shipped to Amazon, but your returns may be better than that. And if they are, then I would go for it. But what I would suggest to you is if it's not going to be financially better for you just to choose a smaller product, then I wouldn't go with it. You know, I wouldn't go with that product. I would try to find another product. But those are really good questions and comments. Keep them coming, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope I've given you some value. If you've ever asked me any question, I hope whenever I answered, you know, you got some kind of value out of it. Don't be afraid to ask me any question. You can do it in the comment section below. You can do it on my Facebook page, TJ Lovelady Tube, facebook.com/TJ Lovelady Tube. Follow me on Instagram, TJ Lovelady at TJ Lovelady. It's the O is a 0 and the E is a 3. But you can just type in the search TJ Lovelady, you'll find me. Ask me a question. I'll try to get you an answer. If I don't know the answer, I will go look for the answer, and it'll be the right answer, not just any kind of answer just to get you out of my hair. And I really do enjoy making these videos. I enjoy interacting with you all, and I hope to continue to do it in the future. If you like these types of videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.